Hello, I am Mantastic and Fantastic, and today I'm going to be doing a first impressions on the Valentine's Day collab that is coming to Puzzle and Dragons, at least in Japan. So, with the latest trends of collabs or other things being released at the same time as North America and Japan, I don't know when we're going to actually get the Valentine's Day collab, because we did not get New Year's on New Year's, so we may not get Valentine's Day till a couple months later. But with all that being said, it doesn't hurt to actually take a look at all the cards and get a little bit of an understanding of what we can expect. So, with the Monster Hunter collab passing just recently, and being the first collab that actually had rolling rates disclosed, they were quite high and positive for the most part. Now, with that in mind, I truly believe that Gung Ho is going to continue that trend of having collabs have at least reasonable rolling rates, because if we look at the most recent Godfest, we had a 12% chance, or 0.6% for each unique 6-star Godfest exclusive to be rolled. So any 6-star Godfest exclusive is 12%, each individual one was 0.6. Now, for Monster Hunter, the top cards, the 7-star ones, were both 2% each, and that is quite reasonable. But if we look at the 6-star rolls combined with the 7-star rolls, it was nearing close to 50% total rate to get a diamond. So that's very healthy overall, because at least those rarer cards are becoming much more accessible. So if the Valentine's Day collab follows a similar trend, it might actually be quite a reasonable way to actually acquire some of these important and valuable cards. Now, obviously you want to have value at the gold level egg, but may not always be the case. So of course, when you roll, you have to expect that gold level eggs are going to be the most common, but of course, we don't know what the rolling rates will be because they have not been released yet. So with all that being said, let's take a look at all the cards available. So we have Valentine's Day Leyland, and in fact, we actually have Valentine's Day version of all the Chinese Celestials, and they're all going to be following a very similar pattern in that they have these orb enhances, the skill boost, skill bind resist, time extend, but the most notable awakening that they all have is this L Awakening. So this L Awakening is something we don't have in North America yet, but the way it works is you match a L shape of orb. So ideally you stick it in the corner so it doesn't take up space anywhere else. And when you match exactly an L, so just exactly 5 orbs of their primary element, you will unlock all the orbs, as well as granting that particular monster 1.5 times boost to their attack value. So you almost can think of it like kind of how the box awakening worked. You made the box, that particular monster got a damage boost, but the box gave more damage boost because of the bigger shape. But in this case here, unlocking orbs can be meaningful. But the only main drawback is you can't unlock orbs until after you've matched. So if you needed to have those orbs unlocked to save yourself, it's not going to actually save you. But this can be a great way to, say, get rid of locked poison orbs or jammers when you've left 2 on the board and you were just being very foolish. Like, for example, Grizzar into the Blue Sonya for one of the recent Awoken Killer challenges. If you didn't remove the poison orbs right away, you had 2 locked poison orbs and you had a bad time. So this type of L unlocking is valuable for those scenarios. Now, unfortunately, all these 5-star Valentine's Day cards are middling at best because they all share the traditional Chinese Celestial tri-board changer. So they all make their original 3 elemental board changer. So Leyland makes red, yellow, green, and then enhances their primary color at the same time. That's like the twist they get. So the main problem of these Chinese Celestial actives is that they don't make hard orbs, and that means you can't heal. Like, for example, you may argue that, well, it's producing the right colors for a certain team, but it is more than likely that you're going to have the 2 colors you need for your team plus hearts from an active skill. So for example, let's look at Roshana. Roshana is one of the stronger leaders in the game right now, and she needs light and wood crosses. Now, you can say, well, I can use Leyland's active skill and get light, wood, and then fire, which is useless at the same time, but we could have used something like Sylvie. Sylvie makes light and wood, which is what you need, but hearts. So this is not an isolated example. We can basically find board changers that produce the colors we want with hard orbs at the same time. Like Haku, we can utilize Reunite if we don't want red orbs because we want the dark, water, and hearts, that sort of idea. So it is a little annoying because these active skills are not as powerful for the most part. And as a leader, Leyland does 4 times attack when matching fire, wood, light, and 2 times when 5 orb 1 enhance. And 5 orb 1 enhance is the theme for Valentine's Day, but it's not strong enough from these 5-star cards. But Leyland is very cute and adorable. Karen is basically the exact same, just color swapped overall. Same problems, same restrictions, but again, she's cute and she somehow has the Infinity Gauntlet, so that's interesting as well. Mei Mei has again, the same idea. She makes the wood light and dark, enhances wood orbs, has the orb unlock. So again, that orb unlocking can be valuable in niche situations. Now, Sakuya is different than how she normally has been in the past. This Sakuya actually has a board changer, not a gravity. So she changes all orbs to fire, water, wood, and light, as well as enhancing light orbs. So it is actually her perfect board changer, but the main problem is she only has 4.5 times 2, that's 9, and 81 times damage with 5 orb 1 enhance. But you need to match 4 colors and 5 or 1 enhance. That's a lot of effort. It's not really worthwhile. I guess if you really use Sakuya still, this would be obviously a great active skill to have as an inherit. And she has the giant finger or the super time extend awakening in this form. In her other form, she has the super skill boost. So again, it may be hard to really justify their usage as a sub because the active skill is pretty niche for the most part. We now have Valentine's Day Haku, same idea. Fire, water, and dark, enhances dark orbs, and then the same 8 or 64 times active skill with 5 orb 1 enhance. Not so great, but orb unlocking. So now we come to the 6 stars. Now, these 6-star cards are the Gemstone Princesses, and they actually share the exact same active skill as their Rare Machine equivalent. So we all know that Gemstone Princesses are amazing, especially Carrot. And in this case here, she is actually in the Valentine's Day collab. And if 6 stars are having reasonable rolling rates overall, it may be a great time to actually acquire Carrot or the other gemstones available. So the gemstones in the Rare Machine are 5-star base cards, so they're actually reasonably common to roll overall. But the main issue is they had like terrible weighted stats. They don't really have awakenings. You don't use them as a sub, they're only used as an inherit. Now, these Valentine's Day cards here, they're actually much stronger by comparison. First off, they're bind immune, and they give the team recovery bonus awakening, so that's another 10% overall. But it's the co-op boost that can make them more meaningful and powerful, because with co-op boost, they have 50% more stats. So in the case of this Carrot here, you may actually find yourself actually running her as a sub if you don't have enough time to charge up the active skill if it's used on another card as an inherit. So it's nice to have the option to be able to actually utilize them as a sub instead, and it can open the doors for different team compositions because you don't have to heavily stack skill boost as much because you only need 14 turns now for this to charge up instead of maybe like 18 or 20 or more. Facet, exact same sort of idea, but it has like TP instead of double skill boost, again recovery bonus, co-op boost, and a bit more well-rounded stats overall. But one thing about Carrot is she does have heavy weighted health stats, so when you transfer her around to fire cards, you're going to be gaining a sizable boost to your card's health. And then we have Sheen. So Sheen scales off time extend, Facet scales off TPAs. Right now, Carrot is by far the best one. Then I would say Sheen would be the next, because TPAs are starting to middle at this point in time because all the good cards tend to have 7 combo awakenings instead, so it may be harder to stack TPAs as efficiently. We now have Valentine's Day Astaroth, and this is a 7-star card, so these should be the rarest to roll. Now, she changes her active skills change Fire, Jammer, and Poison to Wood, and then enhance all orbs. So this can be actually a reasonable full board enhance if you're using her as a inherit, if you need like a burst damage as well as removing hazards at the same time. Situational usage there. 8 turns is a reasonable cooldown, but her awakenings are quite interesting. She has, pardon my eyes, full bind immunity, a super skill boost, so she saves an awakening slot. She's got time extend, double wood orb enhance, and then she also has 2 of the orb unlocking L's. So this is kind of odd when you think about it, like, well, you can't unlock orbs twice, and double positives is still a positive, but the main idea is that when you form that L shape, you're going to be giving her a significant boost because it's 1.5 and 1.5. So you're getting about, math, don't get me wrong, 2.25 times burst just for her. So that can be meaningful, and who knows, maybe in the future we're going to be having a lot more cards with this L awakening, so you could possibly even stack a team of a lot of these L awakenings, and it can be a weird way to add more damage overall. But again, it's a little situational for the most part because you can't unlock the orbs, then use an active skill to change the board. But for Astaroth's leader skill, it's 2 times attack and damage reduction when attacking with wood and light. So that's reasonably doable for the most part. I don't know the damage reduction amount, I can't really tell. Maybe Pad Guide will have it. And then 5 times attack when matching 5 or 1 enhance. So you are 100 times attack leader with 43.75% damage reduction. So it's 25% damage reduction per liter. So that's actually quite reasonable. Like matching two distinct colors is not that hard to have from a given board. 5 orb 1 enhance is maybe a little bit more challenging overall, but this should be doable. 100 times is reasonably powerful overall. And the best part is 5 orb 1 enhance works really well as an L. So, you know, dual Astaroths are getting a big boost to their overall damage. And now we have Valentine's Kushinada Hime, and she has the exact same multipliers as her Rare Machine form. She gives 2.25 times health for 2.25 times health for gods, as well as 324 times, let me double check, 324 times attack when hitting 10 or more combos, as well as no skyfalls. So again, it's exact same leader skill multiplier as the Rare Machine version, but she has a few distinct advantages. First off, she's not only restricted to healer types. You can use gods, and that can potentially open up a much wider subpool because most things tend to actually gain their god typing back when they become reincarnated. So your subpool does become a little bigger for the most part, and her active skill is different. You still have the large 75% damage reduction for 1 turn, as well as +2 combo counts on a 15-turn cooldown. So this is a significantly longer cooldown for an extra boost in combo count. So is this better or worse for the most part? Well, how often were we actually using her active skill when she was used as a leader? Kind of situationally, because you do have a large amount of health for the most part, because 2.25 times health is usually enough to survive most reasonable hits. So you would only use the active skill every now and then. So having this longer cooldown may be okay overall, but a nice thing to remember is that this Kushinada Hime has 2 skill boosts. So it's going to be a lot easier to charge up active skills compared to the previous teams as well, because you have more skill boosts available. So this active skill does definitely help boost your damage overall, and the only downside is, to a certain extent, like you're kind of double dipping. You're having a defensive component and an offensive component in one active skill. So it makes the cooldown significantly longer, and it's a little hard to actually gain value from both aspects of the active skill, because unless, like, say you need the extra combos to kill a floor and survive a large preemptive, there's not too many scenarios where you need both at the exact same time. But still, it is a reasonably powerful active skill for the most part. It can definitely propel your damage up to the point where you one-shot stuff. You may not even need a burst inherit for whatever certain content you may be playing through. Now, in terms of her awakenings, I already mentioned she does have 2 skill boosts. She still retains the row of heart spine clearing, but she has something that's going to actually help her out significantly. She has the 2 enhanced heal orb awakenings, which means that with dual leaders, you're going to have a very high chance to have enhanced heart orbs available. But every time you match hearts in a TPA or 4 pattern, you're going to be receiving a significant boost in healing. And that was kind of one drawback of the Rare Machine Kushinada Hime, is that she has sometimes difficulty healing up because your recovery multiplier is just 1 time, so there's no bonus. So if this option to heavily heal up from heart TBAs can dramatically increase your survivability. And she also does have the enhanced team health awakening, so you're getting even more health out of her for the most part. So dual leaders are going to give you a significant boost in health, as well as large healing potential at the same time. So hopefully, maybe I can roll her. It'd be probably fun to play, so we'll see how it goes. Valentine's Nay. So this is an 8-star card. So this is going to be the ultimate chase prize card. And because she's 8 stars, she's probably going to have a much lower chance than 2%. I'm going to guess maybe 1 to 0.75. 0.75 to 1% chance. But again, I'd like to be wrong, and hopefully she's higher. So this Nay has an incredibly powerful active skill. Reduces bind and awoken binds by 5 turns. That's a great bind clearing active. That's Green Odin right there. But it's Green Odin plus a board changer of light, dark, and heal. So you're combining Green Odin's bind clearing potential with Apocalypse's board changer. So 2 great active skills to have in 1 card. And she has double TPA, 2 7 combo awakenings, and that alone is already powerful enough. And then of course the skill boost, skill bind, resist, double bind immunity, so full bind immunity, but then she also has the box awakening. So that's a little nutty for the most part, because if you think about it in terms of pixel or box awakening cards, most of them don't have that much damage output, but Nay will have incredible amounts, because not only can you get double 7 combo, which is 4 times damage. You get the 3 times burst from the box awakening. So just by yourself, hitting 7+ combos, making the box is going to give her 2 times 2 times 3 damage. So you're getting a total of 12 times. That's a little silly. If you have a reasonably high multiplier, she's going to blow things out of the water. But we're not done there yet. She has the ability to equip any killer latent awakening she wants because of her balanced typing. So she's going to be dealing more damage than any other pixel card in the game just because you have double 7 combos. And you can equip any killer you want to basically counteract any spawn possible. So this card is just a little nutty overall, and it's just like, let's just give her everything we can imagine. The only drawback is perhaps if you're using her as a sub, there's no time extends. But again, time extends we can find from so many different cards at this point in time. Stick some unis on, you'll be fine. As a leader, they have 3 times attack and damage reduction when attacking with light and dark. I'm just double checking the full multiplier on Pad Guide, which is a great app that people should be using. So she's going to provide you with 43.75% damage reduction, but unfortunately it's only 81 times damage. And that's very lackluster for the most part. It's damage reduction, sure, but 81 times is not that great, and this is because they're giving you plus 2 seconds to move orbs. And because of that, that's obviously eating into the leader skill's potential. If we didn't have the bonus movement time, her multiplier would be probably much higher. But of course, this is kind of to compensate for it. And again, it makes her not that great of a leader, just an incredible sub to own overall. So I would love to have one. It'd be nice. It would solve all of my pixel problems for any dungeon moving forward. But unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be that common to roll. So, and then I guess the last interesting option is the dungeon drop. So we get this Valentine's chocolate, which is an assist evolution, and its active skill is recover 50% of your maximum health and change the right column to heal orbs. Wow. So any health sensitive team out there will love to have this Valentine's Day chocolate. So like Yogg would love it. You get hit by a big preemptive, you just heal back up to your health threshold and you're on your merry way. Plus you're all able to spawn a column of hearts on the farthest side. So this is different than Mel because Mel's column of hearts was the second from the right. So second from the right is good for heart crossing. It's also good for, I guess, making it easier to combo with something like Yogg. Make a full board of light, column of Mel, happy, 2 light combos, no matching required. But with the Valentine's Day chocolate, you would actually have to manipulate a little bit to get the follow-up attack and just basically shift the orbs over by 1. However, if you're playing any combo-based team out there, this is a better active skill to have because you don't have to worry about the orbs hidden behind Mel's column of heart. They're just stuck on the side, and then you're working with a 5x5 box, and it's certainly doable enough to actually form combos. So this is definitely a great card to have, and the best part is it's farmable. We can get this. We don't have to roll it, so this is a great thing to have. I would definitely encourage every player to have one lying around their box, and even the awakenings are not bad. We have health, we have recovery bonuses, as well as enhanced heart orb awakening, so that can provide quite a significant boost to your recovery overall. The only drawback is, of course, the actual stats transferred are so lackluster, but again, it's okay. We got awakenings transfer, which kind of makes up for it anyways. So in conclusion, this Valentine's Day machine does look quite exciting, but the problem is it is very top heavy. Yes, all the girls are very pretty, but until we know the rolling rates of, say, like Carrot, Facette, and Sheen, it may be hard to justify rolling because to a certain extent, the 5 stars you don't really want to have outside of trophies and collecting, I feel, unless maybe the niche situational L unlock. But again, if you're rolling a bunch of times, you're going to be getting a 5-star no matter what, I'm pretty sure. So let me know what you think about this Valentine's Day collab in the comments below. What card do you want to roll most, and how do you plan on utilizing them if you're fortunate enough to do so? Hopefully you all have a Mantastic day. I wish you all the best of luck in your own pad adventures, and happy puzzling.